Time can really take a toll on your classic Mustang's interior, and if you still have the factory interior, chances are it's time for it to go. We're going to show you how to upgrade your Mustang's interior with Distinctive Industries. I have Keith from Distinctive Industries. What can you tell me about the seats we have on the table?
Well, this is our Touring 2 seat for the 1965 Mustang with standard interior. This seat comes completely assembled and with some mounting brackets is ready to drop in the car. It's bolstered, has 20 reclining positions, and has 18 front to back positions. And we're really excited about this product line and think it's a great upgrade for the Mustang.
I see we have a headrest on the table. Now, does this have to be installed on the seat, or what can you tell me about the headrest?
It does not have to be installed. We include it to give you the option of a low back or high back look. Everything's in the seat, ready for it to be installed. You just have to push these sleeves through the vinyl and your headrest will install.
Awesome. Let's get to the installation. Removing the factory seats is pretty simple. There's 4 access holes underneath the car where you can access the 4 half-inch nuts that secure the seat. Alright, so here are the 4 access holes on the bottom of this car. Now normally there are access hole plugs on the car, but this particular car does not have them. If you do want them for your car, we do offer them, but now you just need a half-inch socket to remove the nut. Once all 4 nuts are removed, you can simply remove the seat. Okay, we're ready to start assembling our Distinctive Industries seat. Now, like we said earlier, the seat does come with an optional headrest. We are going to choose to install the headrest with this car. So the first thing we're going to do with this is cut holes in the vinyl up here for the headrest. So to find out where you need to make your cut, you're going to feel along the top of the seat, and you'll feel 2 low spots. One low spot is here, and one low spot is right here. This is where you're going to make your cuts. You can also line it up with the headrest. So if you see here, these rods are going to go right where those low spots are. So you're just going to take a razor blade, and in the very center of these low spots, you're going to make a cut. Locate the center of the low spot, and it's going to be a little bit more towards the front of the seat, and make your incision. And it's better to start with a smaller hole and work your way larger than starting with a big hole and making it too big. Grab your headrest insert and see if it'll fit into the hole that you made. If it doesn't, you might have to go a little bit bigger. Then install the insert. Pound it into the seat, and now we can work on the other one. Installing the adjuster insert is very crucial. You need to make sure you have it orientated perfectly. If you install it wrong, you unfortunately can't really go back. So install it onto the headrest and make sure that you have it orientated perfectly. So you can adjust it. So this button needs to be on the outside. So make sure you can get it onto the headrest, and that's going to be the way you need to install it into the seat. Make sure you have this orientated perfectly before you finally install it. The inserts are looking pretty good. We can now install the headrest. Okay, we're ready to install our tracks onto our seat. Now make sure you install the right ones with the right seat. They are side specific. So we're going to grab our release mechanism here and roughly place it onto the seat. Now you want to make sure that you can grab this when you're sitting on the seat. If you install it over here, that's obviously not right. So you want to make sure it's on this side. You're going to secure it with the provided bolts onto the seat. Get this bolt started, but don't tighten it all the way just yet. Press the release to unlock it and then slide the track down. Now you have access to the other bolt hole. You can tighten this bolt all the way down, then go back and fully tighten the first bolt that you installed. Install the other bracket on the other side, just like you installed the first one. Pull the release and slide it up to access the other hole. We're ready to install our release wire. This is going to attach to right here on the release arm, and then right here. So it's going to go on just like that. We have the wire in place. It's looking pretty good, functioning properly. Now we're just going to crimp this end here to make it properly fit. Just going to use some needle nose pliers and bend it down. It's important to note when you go to install this wire, you want both tracks at the same exact position. That way you can install it properly. If you don't have them in the same position, you won't get the right length out of this. If you notice, these cross members are not installed evenly on these bars right here. They're flush on the bottom here. This is where the floor is going to be. You want the seat up here. We can now install the bracket, and we're going to have ours offset the seat towards the rear. Now if you notice on the brackets, there are 3 adjustment points here to raise or lower the seat. Now if you install it to lower the seat, in some cases you might have interference with the floor with these brackets, so you might need to trim them. We're going to install ours though fully raised, so all the way at the bottom. You're going to attach the bracket with the provided hardware. The bolts can then be tightened with a 3/16 hex key. We're ready to install the bolts that secure to the floor. Take the nut and washer off, place this through the bracket. We're going to install all 4 of these bolts and then set it in the car. All right, the seat's now ready to be installed in the car. Now we'll put the seat into the car. And line up the bolts with the holes. A trick to getting the nuts onto the bolts underneath the car is take a short socket, put your nut in there, apply some grease to the nut and socket, and then place your washer on top. And now the washer sticks to it and you can get it onto the bolt. Then all 4 nuts and bolts can get tightened down with a 9/16 socket and wrench. Okay, we got this driver's side seat installed. We actually ended up taking it back out and switching the bottom bracket to change the offset. But now we're going to repeat the same process for the other seat for assembly, and then repeat the process on the other side, and we're done. Okay, so we got our distinctive industry seats installed in our 1965 Mustang, and as you can see, they kept the classic look, but they're going to make this thing a lot more safer and comfortable to cruise in. Installing them is pretty straightforward, but it can be tricky lining up the nuts with the bolts underneath the car. I'd give yourself 3 to 4 hours to do this, and before you know it, you'll be heading down the road.